It's the Dutcher Snedeker Show, starring Dutcher Snedeker, executive producer Dutcher Snedeker, musical guest Dutcher Snedeker, or maybe it's the Shins. I don't know. Kelly, who do we have booked this week? Yeah, I didn't think it was them. No. They're next week. No, Dutcher Snedeker is the one. No, Dutcher Snedeker is the one who's here today. Yeah, he's here. You know, the only employee and the boss. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who. Talk to Sharon. She might have mixed up the calendar. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Sorry about that. A scheduling mix-up. So now, hello, people out there. I'm sort of in frame. I don't know what happened to my other camera, so this is what we're dealing with here. I'm realizing I need distance from the camera. That's the big issue. We'll get these angles figured out, but there's a desk immediately behind where my tripod is. So this is what we're dealing with today. But all that aside, all the behind the scenes aside, hello and welcome to another episode of the Dutcher Snedeker podcast. We made it. Week 2. Longest running podcast ever. 2 weeks. And don't look at any other person for any other clarification on any other podcast, because it's the only one with my name that is gone for 2 weeks. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, wonderful time with friends and family. I'm recording this after Thanksgiving, the Sunday after Thanksgiving to be exact. So some of you might have tuned in to my first solo piano stream. There's some things I need to tweak for the sound of it, but overall, I think you literally, a spur of the moment, like, I got to do this, set it up, turned out pretty good. The idea is I want to play more solo piano, so I've been doing that by myself, but I really want to, treat it like a sort of a casual concert environment where I prepare something, or I work out ideas and things in real time so that people can see what I'm trying to work on. That's partially why I started doing it. I wanted to play more, solo piano. I'm noticing with this camera that the lighting, and if you notice my headphones, kind of weird. Oh well, I'm here and you're here listening to the Dutcher Snedeker podcast, a podcast brought to you by DutcherSnedeker.com, a website that I own, so I can say it's a sponsor. If you're at all curious about what I do, DutcherSnedeker.com is a great place to see some things. I've been making little tweaks here and there. I really want to relaunch it into some kind of cool looking, fashionable, updated website. I mean, it looks nice right now, but I feel like it could benefit with a little polish. I have some photos with Lauren Johnson that still need to be published. Go hit her up once it's warmer for your photo needs. She does a great job, and it's really fun working with her. But again, DutcherSnedeker.com, you can find little breadcrumb trails to wherever I am on the internet, whether it's like a live streaming platform or LinkedIn or YouTube or I don't know, where I'm playing, what I'm doing, all that good stuff. It's all at your disposal. So, DutcherSnedeker.com. You can read stuff. You can listen to stuff. you can catch up with what I'm doing. As you can with this podcast as well, because each episode's kind of be, a snapshot of what's going on in the week, what's going on in the day. I don't want it to be too, lofty. I think of, what's his name? David. Is it David? Oh, which David? I messed this up the last time. David Byrne, David, what is his name? One of the Davids, one of the artistic Davids. He does these weather reports. I know it'll come to me at some point, but he does these weather reports where he just kind of tunes in. He's like, hello, today is going to be sunny. And I was thinking about apples. You're like, wait, what? And he just starts talking about how much he loves apples and how they're nourishing. But today, we're going to focus on something that, is weird, at least when you think about this holiday, Thanksgiving. Now, the food, not weird. Gathering with friends and family, not weird. This year is a little different. We all had to have slight adjustments to our holiday. My sister and her boyfriend ended up staying in Chicago and making their own Thanksgiving. My brother and his girlfriend came up to Grand Rapids, and we had a socially distanced meal together. Masks were worn. Football was watched. The Lions played and, lost. I don't watch football that much because I don't have cable. But I do enjoy watching it with people who enjoy watching it because I can follow the game. It's not necessarily something I go out of my way to do. Similarly, there was the whole fight, the Mike Tyson fight. Oh, who's the other guy on the card? I don't know. I don't watch fights. There's already people going like, boo, you don't like football, you don't like boxing, boo. Well, yeah, why do you think I'm playing this piano? It's so I can distract you from the fact that I don't own any sort of, anything. See, I changed chords there. I don't own any sort of thing that would point to being a boxing fan. Okay, we're back here. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about today. I didn't want to talk to you about sports. I wanted to bring to your attention the fact that Thanksgiving music is a trip. Is weird. In a good way. In a very open-ended way. So I think what we're going to do, and I did this earlier, I just found a website. Because this podcast has no format yet. So one thing I've been wanting to try is utilizing more visual things for the video people. So that's why I have this keyboard. That's why I'm taking video right now. That's why I'm recording everything. And while later I'm going to be sifting, through the internet for little snippets of these songs that'll kind of fade in and out. But hello. This is Dutcher from the future, realizing he's made a horrible mistake. So my idea for this bit was to have pieces of the song fade in and out. But fair use is a tricky thing to navigate early on. And I didn't want to be the guy who's like, oh, I downloaded 40 songs illegally or something. And I was like, oh, I'll pay for them all. And I'm like, I'm going to spend $40 on music, and it would just be easier for me to share the link with you. So look, the link is right here,
and you can follow along and click on the videos and read the article with me. I'll also put an image to each album cover as I mentioned the tune. All right, we're all clear. No audio, no nothing. Just follow along, and we'll learn together. This is episode 2. You cut me some slack.
All I typed in was Thanksgiving music. That's all I did. Typed in Thanksgiving music, and I clicked on an article by Good Housekeeping. Never been to this website. So I'm a great researcher. I've never been to this website, but they say like, hey, Thanks a Million is a song you should listen to. And I was like, what? So that was the first song they listed. Thanks a Million. It's an old Louis Armstrong song. It's great. It's a short little number. I like the flavor of it. It's got that throwback, nostalgic jazz vibe. Louis Armstrong's a great performer. And right away, you get the sense that anything that is thankful, any song that's like, we're thankful, we enjoy this, we are thanking something, that's what we're going to be seeing a lot of. Thanks a million. If you're already bored, don't worry. I'm gonna go through this fast. You're like, really? He's going for Thanksgiving music? There is none. Au contraire, did you not hear me say 40 Thanksgiving songs that you have to listen to? You have to. This next one, I actually dig. I've never heard of Jay and the Techniques, but it's a vibe I can get behind. It's about being hyped for the dessert. Apples, peaches, and pumpkin pie. All great pies. I had some apple pie myself. And, it's got that nice little, it's got this great little vibe to it. I mean, you're listening to it right now and you're like, whoa, what's going on? This is cool. Isn't this nice? It's like you're automatically thinking like, hey, I have a family. We like these pies. I remember the little scraps we got in as kids. We were playing touch football when we got the family together, or, getting everyone around the table once the dinner's ready. There's that excitement. This next one is kind of reaching. It's Home by Philip Phillips. And I get it, like, home is where the food is. And like, home is where you are. It's where your acoustic guitar is, and you're gonna get around your Hallmark family and sit by the perfectly set up fireplace near the Christmas tree, and you're gonna just enjoy each other's company. But I play this a lot on weddings, so I have a different vibe with this song. I get what it's supposed to do, but that's not Thanksgiving. Like, you could just apply this to any holiday. That's not specific enough. And the reason why I'm going through all these songs is because can you name a Thanksgiving song? Like a song that you play that's like every Thanksgiving, I listen to like Turkey on the Table by Mavis Staples. She has this great song called Turkey on the Table, and I can't help but enjoy it every year. And you're like, what? Okay. Sure. We'll call that a holiday tradition. I don't think that's a real song. It's not. But you can't just be like, yeah, this one's about home. You enjoy your house. So make sure you You put it in there. Oh, was it? Wait, you get together at home? Oh, you did it! Look at you. You're so special. You word association. All right, this next one is Graham Parker. Almost Thanksgiving Day. It's almost Thanksgiving Day. Not quite. We're bumped the microphone. We're almost there. We're so close. Like, it doesn't, I'm assuming this is Thanksgiving Eve where everyone's out drinking. Or maybe it's the week before Thanksgiving and it's clicked in your head like, oh yeah, next week's Thanksgiving. Like, people are going to come home for the holidays and you listen to it. It's like a country sort of ballad. It's kind of lilting. There's a harmonica and it's fine. I didn't even listen to the full chorus. I'm literally playing snippets. Because I don't I don't yet know when these things kind of go up on YouTube, what the DMCA stuff's going to look like. Not that anyone is going to watch this to a degree where I'm like, I have to monetize this. But, you got to think about these things. So almost Thanksgiving Day. It's another song. Turkey Chase, Bob Dylan. It sounds like you're kind of running after a turkey. It's like it's bluegrass. It sounds like a bluegrass song. It's not. It's maybe it's the feeling of It's chasing a turkey. What do you want from Thanksgiving? This is what we got. All right, Bing Crosby. I've got plenty to be thankful for. Sure. The Thanksgiving, thankful. Again, not necessarily written for Thanksgiving. But Bing Crosby's kind of, he kind of haunts all of the holidays. He just kind of appears. He's like, oh, and you're like, oh, it's Bing Crosby. There he is once again on the radio, Bing Crosby. This next one is just Autumn Leaves by Nat King Cole. No. Sorry, that's not a Thanksgiving song. It might be a fall song, but this isn't like a Thanksgiving tune. So we're skipping that. Thank You for the Music. No, that's not a Thanksgiving song. That's an ABBA song. I had to play, thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. I had to do that. That was the musical I did this year before everything shut down. I don't even remember. What was it? Something like that. Who can live without it? I can't remember. That song. That's not Thanksgiving. Next. I spent more time on it than I needed. I was being nostalgic. Thankful by Kelly Clarkson. I'm not even going to play. You know what? I'm going to retroactively put in a clip that says I'm not playing any of these songs. This list is already like, I'm not even listening to the songs anymore. Like, I'm already so like I thought this would be good. This is why you got to research your topics. Everybody eats when they come to my house. Again, not necessarily Thanksgiving, but more in the spirit than Kelly Clarkson's Thankful, because you can be grateful any time of the year. It doesn't have to be just Thanksgiving. Sweet potato pie, again, a dish associated with Thanksgiving. Not necessarily a Thanksgiving song. Vince Guaraldi has a Thanksgiving theme. It's not very long. It's like a 2-minute song. That's about as good as we're going to get. Something that was written to feel like Thanksgiving in the Peanuts cartoon. Let's Turkey Trot. All right. That sounds more like a Thanksgiving song. It's got turkey in it. I saw friends of mine go on turkey trots. So what are we doing? We're turkey trot. That's closer. It's a turkey. You're moving. Maybe it's a dance. I don't know. Again, I'm not listening to these songs anymore. There's so many. Okay, we're gonna fly through these because I don't want this to be all about Thanksgiving music anymore. I say thank you, Sam and Dave. Great group. Probably a great song. Not necessarily Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving song. Hey, there we go. Mary Chapin Carpenter. This song is called Thanksgiving Song. It's probably really on the nose. Like get your folks round the table. We're cutting into turkey and having ourselves a good old, I don't know. It says country and folk. Next. Thank you, friends. Big Star. Who is Big Star? Okay, next. Ray Davies. Another name that's like, I know this name, but I don't. Okay, Thanksgiving Day. Okay, very specific. Thanksgiving Day. Cooking up something good. Mac DeMarco. Not necessarily Thanksgiving. Even in the description for why they recommend it for a playlist is like, the slow melody of this indie track will remind you why we spend hours cooking our food for Thanksgiving. Sure. Okay, Loudon Wainwright III, Thanksgiving. Cool. Adam Sandler has his goofy Thanksgiving song. That's fine. He's made funny songs. Alice's Restaurant, Arlo Guthrie. Is this... What is it? Okay, the song recounts a based-in-fact story of how Guthrie was rejected from the draft board for having a criminal record, which he got by illegal dumping trash on Thanksgiving. So it was related to Thanksgiving because he committed a crime on Thanksgiving, I guess. But it is illegal dumping trash. I don't know. It's not like, what, did he pour it into a river? Thank you, next. No, that's not... Don't forget to be thankful for your ex. We're fishing here. All right. I want to thank you, Otis Redding. Okay. Sure. Another song about thanking your ex. Do the mashed potatoes. This is okay. It's a James Brown song, but again, not Thanksgiving. It's just a thing. It's a dance. Okay. Thanksgiving prayer, Johnny Cash. So he's being grateful on a day. Cool. Johnny Cash. A lot of people respect Johnny Cash's work. I don't think I've ever heard his Thanksgiving song, and I'm not gonna because this list is long, and it's really fishing. All right, Thank You by Dido. Sure, it's another song about thankfulness. Thank you for being a friend. Okay, classic song, not a Thanksgiving song. It's just thankful. Like, do we need, like, think about Christmas. There's so much symbology. There are so many symbols related to Christmas. And there's songs about them all. Silver bells, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus, Christmas trees, Oh Holy Night, because Jesus, First Noel, Go Tell It on the Mountain. There's so many songs. It's like Jesus' birthday. Here's 50 songs. opening presents with your family and Santa and a Christmas tree and magic reindeer and elves and toy shop. Like there's a million, like Thanksgiving doesn't have any mystical property. It's just like a kind of glazing over of history. It's like everyone got together and the Indians, the Native Americans, they were all friends. Mrs. Bickle, first of all, thank you for saying Native Americans. Second of all, you gotta know that they weren't the best of friends. You know, that's like the holiday means being thankful and getting together with people, but it wasn't founded necessarily on that. So there. Thank You Girl by the Beatles. Another song is just like, thanks, put it in the playlist. Macy's Day Parade by Green Day. Never heard of this song. It seems like a weird, like I'm sure it isn't a sponsorship, but it feels like a song you'd make for a branded ad. Like just by the title, but it's probably not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Biscuits. The song is just called Biscuits by Casey Musgraves. If you had biscuits at Thanksgiving, then put this in your playlist. Young Pilgrims, The Shins. I didn't even know the Shins were on this, and I made a reference to them. How about that? What is it? Young Pilgrims. We won't have Thanksgiving without the Pilgrims. This acoustic guitar strumming in this song makes it the perfect autumn folk jam. Thanks, Good Housekeeping, for your enlightenment. Thankful by Celine Dion. Again, another popular artist that just had thanks in their... here's my song. It's called Thanks. Put it in Thanksgiving. A Moment Like... What? A Moment Like This by Kelly Clarkson. We're at 33. This is dumb. Coat of Many Colors, Dolly Parton. I assume it's a great song. I haven't heard a lot of songs, okay? I've heard a lot of more contemporary songs. There's a lot of songs I haven't heard. And, you know, there's so much music. There's constantly music. Constantly. There's so much music I have to keep up with. I just did my top 10 list draft for Local Spins, and I was like, I listened to like 30 albums this year. There's so many, and that's just in like 3 genres, you know, like it's crazy. All right. This isn't about me. It's about Thanksgiving, being thankful. Home for the Holidays, The Carpenters. No, you can't just do that. You can't say holiday and then just say it's Thanksgiving. What if I want it to be Arbor Day? Home for the Holidays. Coming home for Arbor Day. Coming home for President's Day. Coming home for Labor Day. Home for the holidays. We are family. Yeah, I'd say that's what Sister Sledge was thinking of. They're like, we got to write a Thanksgiving song that'll be a chart-topping classic. Harvest Moon by Neil Young. I get like, okay, before you're like, I mean, we're almost to the end of the list, but I know what they're trying to go for. But I mentioned how, you know, like Christmas, it has a vibe, it has a feeling, it has an if you put sleigh bells on any song, you could just throw it in the Christmas pile. You just put sleigh bells on it. You're like, this is our Christmas song. It's got sleigh bells. You can't do it. Like, there's no Thanksgiving, like, oh, I played the cornucopia and it's on the record. So now it's a Thanksgiving song. Wild Honey Pie. Okay, Sweet Potato by Sia. That's getting closer. People have I have sweet potato casserole, right? Some people have sweet potato pie. Thursday Girl by Mitski. Is a somber take on Thanksgiving Thursday. Is it on? I don't know. That was the last song. This was bad. But hey, it's only been what, a half hour since I started. So you got a condensed recommendation list. You're going to go look up all these songs and be like, what's happening? Because Thanksgiving's over and you're like, retroactively, I want to look up what Thanksgiving songs there are. But another thing I think we all are gonna, miss a little bit with how the holidays are gonna be this year is some of the music stuff. Someone made the joke. I think it was Michael Pierce. The guitarist for August, they had a funny ad that they made for advertising their like Christmas concert. And he was like, what will I do if I can't go see Trans-Siberian Orchestra this year? How will I know it's Christmas? And you're like, yeah, what am I going to do without the like the fast laser show about... I went and saw it once. It was a gift from my dad. Really, like, honestly, great production. They kill it. Like, the tones from all the instruments, the lights, the video wall explosion. The narrator was a little funny. Just like he's doing a dramatic reading of like the story. Like everything had like this relationship to, the story of Christmas. And it was like, he was talking, I remember in my head a line that he said, or like close to it. There was a neon sign on a liquor store. And he's like, the lonely sign, the last beacon of hope, or like the last star in the sky. You're like, okay, I get it. I don't feel for it right now because I'm hearing like rock and roll guitars just blaring the whole time. But it was a great show. I don't know if that's necessarily an indicator of Christmas. It's Christmas affiliated because they do other stuff. Christmas music is very like, you hear it and puts you in a mood. A lot of it's jazz. All the haters of jazz out there, they're like, it's like, unless you want to listen to just Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas, y'all should go listen to, okay, here are my picks. We're going to shift gears for a second. Here are my picks for, and you can find this. I actually put together a playlist on Spotify that will be published. Actually, it'll be out before this podcast comes out. It's called Christmas Vibes, but it'll be part of Earth Radio's Tunes Day playlist. And it's got so many little nuggets of tunes that I was like, these are not like some of them are direct, like these are Christmas covers of songs people have done ad nauseum, but it's by people that, I like listening to, such as PJ Morton. He's got a whole Christmas album, or The Temptations. They have a great Christmas whole album. Who else? Panzer Ballet. They're a German experimental rock band. The most hilarious arrangements of Christmas tunes on their album Christmas Death Jazz, like to the point where you like, the way that they play with the structure of tunes and the instrumentation of like how they want to present the song, whether it's like, being a heavier rock group with a lot of jazz inside their, vocabulary, while also like just being very playful, like Ron Jarzenbeck is a guy who I always think of as like the shred-tastic funny dude, because he makes music that is like so over the top technical that it's hilarious. Like it's not just like, it's not people purely being like, I could shred. It's like so over the top that it's just funny. and he puts humor in it. And that's Panzer Ballet. They do that with like a bunch of tunes, and it's, if anything, it's something you can like sneak in on a playlist as you're listening to the classics and throw all of your relatives for a loop. Like, what is happening? It's like, this is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What are you talking about? I would say I didn't put it on the playlist because it's only on Bandcamp, but Butcher Brown has a 2-track EP. I think it's called like A Very Butcher Brown Christmas or something. The album cover is a photo of Martin Lawrence kind of loosely dressed as Santa Claus. And that was a great, those are 2 great songs. I think it's 2 songs. Might be 3. But go listen to that. You could go, I don't know, listen to stuff that's off the beaten path, because it'll still lead you to Christmas. But you know, it's the holidays. You got to think of something. You got to put, you know, the fire. You got to get the fire going. You got to, you know, feel warm and cozy. You got to get those gifts. Something you can unwrap and be like, oh, I can't believe you thought of me, or I can't believe you thought of them, or wow. Like, you know, we watched old reruns of Christmases that were videotaped when I was a kid. Cannot believe I'm alive today with how annoying I was with Prez. I'm like, oh, what is it? What is it? Could it be? Could it be? Oh my gosh, oh, what is it? Oh my god. And I'm like opening my brother's present, like, oh my goodness, what could it be? It's a Pokemon! Wow! And then he's like, cool. And then I'm like, just like, let me open it. Let me open it. I want to open it. I want to open your present so I can show you how to use it, because I'm the older brother. And I've been around the block a few times. I don't know if you know how to open a box, but I can open a box. I'm really good at opening boxes, and I hope that you recognize that in me as the older brother, because I love opening presents, because I'm 8 years old. At least at the time I was. I'm 8 years old. I can open all the presents. Oh, let me do it. Oh, look at that. Wow, look at that. That looks so cool. Wow, I can't believe you got that. But, you know, I took the joy out of you discovering what you had, because I'm just narrating Christmas. And maybe that's why I'm doing these now. You know, that's one indicator of many. My nickname at Blandford Nature School was 24/7, because I loved to talk about everything to everyone all the time. And, you know, that was 6th grade. And then, like, you know, things calmed down a little bit in high school. I'd still get in trouble for talking, because I like to crack jokes, and I like to make people laugh and all that stuff. But I distinctly remember teachers just like, sometimes they would laugh, but they would kind of be like, come on, man, I just want to, like, I'm so tired, and, you know, I have a whole life that you don't know about, that I can't really explain to you about what's going on, because it's not professional. But I don't want to take my anger and frustration on strangers. Well, not strangers, my students. So you're gonna have to calm down just a little bit. But, you know, I remember, back to Christmas, by the way, going back to Christmas, I remember that the other thing in the video, and I still remember seeing the initial video as a kid, but this video had me convinced, up until probably 5th or 6th grade, that Santa Claus existed in some fashion. 6th grade. Because in the back of my head, I was like, you know what? All signs of this video that my parents happen to have, videotaping Santa, like, it means there's a Santa. And of course, me being stupid, or maybe me being like, there's so much joy in the world. if Santa's real, then maybe hope and world peace is real. And maybe we can all live together in harmony. Because Santa exists and he is bringing toys to all the girls and boys. Wow, they're so beautiful. I love all these presents. I feel the generosity from Santa. And I've seen him in this video. He's real. He's real. And then, of course, later on, it's like, he's not real. That was your dad, clearly. And you're like, what? Nuh-uh. And then, of course, you see the video and you're like, clearly that's not only that was that my dad. It was my dad in a Santa suit that he would use for gigs where he would dress up as Santa and sing Christmas songs and act jolly and jovial, and I would play the intermissions. I would play Christmas tunes, and that was some of my earliest gigging work. I would play for, I think the last one I did was, it's been years, but North Point Bank off of the Beltline, and then I did another bank that's kind of near, I forget, there's a bank on the corner of Leonard and whatever that bank is that's right near the 131 entrance off of Leonard, but it's I don't know, it's on one of those side streets that's it's a one-way that is an exit off the highway. Not near the Speedway, but on the other side. Those of you who live in Grand Rapids know what I'm talking about. But, the Christmas, it's always been a good, it's always been a good time. No matter what, how crazy life can be, Christmas is a good time to be you know what? I don't care. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to and just soak in the warmth of the holiday and make sure that I take some time to really appreciate where I'm at. Because you're close to the end of the year. And normally, too, I would have, some gig markers, like a show at Founders or 2 shows. And then I would, I'd have Christmas, time to reset, time to chill. It's snowy outside and, and then there's oh, look at the snow. This is the start of a Christmas song. You're just waiting. Where are we going? It's Christmas Day. And then New Year's would hit. And you'd have that moment of being I can't believe it. The year is turning over. It's now whatever year. I did so much more than I thought I did this year. But I also didn't accomplish other things. But I also want to accomplish it. Every normal person should be man, I did a lot this year. But I also didn't do some things I wanted to do. But I also, did more than I thought I would. There should be that mixture. Especially this year when so many things have been put on hold, so many things have been pushed out into the who knows when, industry shutting down, all the things everyone's been hearing about all year. It's good to know that you out, where's the camera? How do I point to the camera? Where's the camera? The camera's right there. I've kind of been looking at it. You have done more than you thought, especially if you're in a creative field. You've made it work however you need to do it. Maybe you got a side job. Maybe you got a full-time job in another field to get you through. Maybe you've tried new things. This is all new. Podcasting, me talking at people for a while. This is new. Trying to figure out what I want to talk about is interesting. I think I did, this year, I did like 15 pilot episodes of a different podcast idea where the premise was going to be, I had bookended it as car thoughts, which in retrospect sounds like, oh, what are my opinions on different cars? Being an expert, but I'm not an expert on cars. But the idea was, oftentimes when I'm on the way to music-related things, I'm in my car alone, and I'm thinking about things. You know, even in spite of, like trying to listen to music or a podcast, I'm always trying to, think about like, oh yeah, this reminds me of that one time, or this, I've been doing session work a lot lately, or I can't believe I'm doing this. Like today, I recorded 2 lines of dialogue for my friend's story podcast called Tiny Tales. Him and his wife produce it every week, and they invite people to kind of guest voice act. And I was like, I've always wanted to try that, so let's try it. I have no idea when that's coming out, but I know my deadline's in like 2 weeks, and I've already recorded the 1 line, so unedited. I'll need to probably edit it, and save a copy that's the unedited, just in case he wants to do it himself. But this year, if you've done anything, I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, if you've done anything, you got a lot to be proud of. There's people who've put out singles, there's people who've worked on singles, there's people who've learned a little bit about video editing, learned a little bit about mixing, learned a little bit about tracking. You got to walk before you can run. The dead air isn't good on podcasts, by the way. So should probably know what I'm doing and saying. But no, really, if you have taken anything away from this year, you should celebrate in a way that, makes sense, feels comfortable. I love this sound. Sorry. It's on Keyscape, and it's called Planet T Belltone Tremolo. It's like perfect for like lo-fi stuff too. It's very dreamy. But the holidays are coming up for, Christmas and New Year's. Don't go out and beat people down for presents. Get it online. Get it now. Get it, be safe, be happy, be healthy. I think that's where this podcast is going to end. Again, this is you right now. This is you and me figuring out what this is together, because it's just me. When I've always, the thing I've learned about me, and it's true with a lot of people, if you're put in the corner and you're like, do something, and you're like, what? What do I do? He's like, just do it. Just do something. There's been time, literally, over the years of me playing in my 20s and late teens, there's been times where it's just like, okay, we're here. What's the set list? I don't know. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna vibe on. What is that key? Hey, what's the key? G minor? Okay. And then the bass player. You're like, oh, that's cool. And the drummer comes in, like, just playing his thing. Oh, he changed the beat. Oh, we're gonna keep going. A flat. Okay. Back to G. Oh, what? Wow. Oh, wow. We made a song. We made a groove. And that's been a whole concert. That was what. Here's something. This was what Local Spins Wednesdays used to be. It used to be way back before it was a series. It was, trying to plug Local Spins and Speakeasy into a concert series type thing, into a concert and, sponsorship relationship type thing. It was me and Brad Fritcher. I remember the first show we did. It was me with some loops in like a cracked version of Ableton with my keyboard. And then Brad had his own loops in his stuff with his trumpet. And we played some tunes that we wrote, some standards, but most of it, probably like 80% of it was just beats, loops, and figuring out like, oh, what are we going to do? B flat minor, G. Like 2 chords, easy to grab onto, vibe. Maybe like a passing chord. And then he would play something. You're contractually obligated when vibing in front of a camera in 2020 to move your head. So observe. Doesn't even have to be in time. Oh, I almost hit my head on the microphone. I think I hit my head on the mic. But you get it. It's all, the long point of this is that I am forcing my hand. So if anyone in retrospect is like, hey, don't ever like not prepare. Sure, I'll prepare something. But I recorded this after I did that hour concert stream. I went on a walk for about an hour, and then I did the voiceover stuff, and then I did this podcast. So a very full day. And I noticed too that I'm in much better shape in terms of like my voice. Last week I felt it after the podcast. I felt it, but today it feels a little better. But if you feel backed against the wall as a creative person, that's when you kick into survival mode. Get those skills rolling. Figure out what platforms you could try. Figure out what things you need to do. If you got to take another job, if you got to figure out something around it, that's going to help fuel the creative thing. But don't be afraid to try it. Just we'll use this podcast as a checkpoint. In a year, I want to be able to say like, wow, look at where I came from. A camera angle that cut off the top of my head and cut off the top portion of my keyboard in my office with a messy background to something that's a little bit more presentable and a little bit more realized. So, I leave you with that. Be creative in the face of, anything. And that doesn't mean you have to, I have to do 6 billion things. Like, no. If you spend a month playing your instrument and you don't record any of it, you don't obsess about Instagram, what you've still done is picked up your instrument and done something. That's why I'm doing these stream concerts, because I want to be able to say at least an hour on a Sunday, I performed. It's not a live show, but I performed, and then in the process, I worked on tech, because that's part of the streaming game, is figuring out tech with music. But we're going to call it quits there for the podcast. Again, thank you. For those of you watching the video, my camera just went out, but let's try that again. Thanks so much for listening to the Dutcher Snedeker podcast. I'm going to make more memory on my phone so this doesn't happen again. But hey, we still have the audio, and we still have each other. So go out there. Don't play F sharp when you land on F. Or do it. Be creative. Have fun with it. We'll see you next week on the Dutcher Snedeker Show. Hey, Kelly. Did we hire anyone else? I'm just realizing that a one-person thing, it might be a lot of work. Even you, Kelly, are just nothing. You're a figment of this podcast's imagination. Hey, you don't have to yell. You're real in no, you don't have to stop. Okay, I'm gonna go solve this with Kelly. See you next week.